Greetings and welcome to On the Table. We are broadcasting on RTM Click and MyTV's Berita RTM channel 123, which is also live streaming on YouTube. I'm your host, Shuhaida Arifin. On tonight's episode, in the next 30 minutes, we'll be embarking on a journey of bridging the digital divide and driving digital transformation in Malaysia. And we welcome to the studio Muhammad Akmal Yahya, the Vice President of IT and Digital Transformation at Measat'S Satellite Systems Sdn Bhd. Good to have you here with us in the studio, sir.
Thank you, Shada.
I believe this is your first time in the studio.
Yes, correct.
But we're having a very fun and interesting topic. We're going to be talking about Measat. Now, the first question I'd like to give you here, maybe you can explain a little bit more about what are the Measat contribute to Malaysia's national development?
I think before we get there, maybe I can just share briefly the history of Measat. So that we understand how Measat grew from a very lean beginning until where we are today. So basically, the journey of Measat started in Malaysia in 1992. That's about 30 years ago. That's very long. And actually, I joined Measat in 1995, January 1985. That's 29 years ago, very long time ago. So actually, a year before I joined Measat, Binarian Satellite Systems, which is formally named for Measat Satellite System, and also Boeing Satellite System. This is a US company. They signed agreement to actually build and launch Measat first satellite, which is also Malaysian first satellite. We call it Malaysia East Asia Satellite, and we call it Measat-1. So basically, not long after the sign-off of that agreement, Boeing started to actually build the satellite in their factory in El Segundo, California. So basically, Measat sends in a team of engineers as part of the technology transfer program to get all these engineers learn and participate in the build of Measat-1. So basically, the engineer have actually their hands on building the satellite itself. So we have a pool of engineers there. And then also at the same time, we have another team in Denver, Colorado, building the Earth station equipment. So basically, you have two parts. One is building the satellite. The other one is actually building the Earth or ground station to control the satellite when it's in orbit. So basically, it took Boeing about 2 years to complete building the satellite. And then at the same time also, I was actually assigned to look after the ground segment. So after we complete the testing and assembling of the satellite equipment in Denver, we brought it out to Langkawi at that time. So we call it Measat Satellite Control Center. It's actually right on the top of Gunung Raya. I'm not sure if you know. So basically, that's the station where we are. So from there, actually, once Measat-1 launched, we control and we manage the satellite right from that facility for over 10 years, actually. So 2004, we moved from Langkawi to Cyberjaya, where we are today. So basically, the satellite was actually launched in January 1996. And then after that, it's just a series of satellites that we launched. So that showed the successful missions where Measat is actually embarking into. So basically, we have Measat-2 in 1996, Measat-3, Measat-3A, Measat-3B, Measat-3D, the most recent one. So we launched Measat-3D, the most sophisticated satellite, in June 2022. So that's a brief history of Measat. Now maybe we come to the contribution. So in terms of the contribution, basically, I can actually say there are 2 or 3 parts of the major contribution that Measat has. First, of course, in terms of creation of job opportunity for Malaysians. And we are very proud because we are a fully Malaysian company. So basically, with that, we train our staff, like I mentioned before, in terms of technology transfer. So we make sure that our employees are actually very well versed in the technology itself, and that they keep upgrading their knowledge. So this is part of the human resources development that Measat is doing. So we are very proud of that. In fact, quite a number of our employees is actually internationally recognized. So we got awards, very prestigious award, like for example, the APSCC, this is organization they call Asia Pacific Satellite Communication Council. So they give some of our employees, they call Young Talent Award. Even our CEO also is actually given some awards in Asia Pacific region, like Satellite Executive of the Year. So that is actually testament of what we as a company contribute to Malaysia. And then again, besides that, I would say that we contribute a lot in terms of enabling the what we call telecommunication industry in Malaysia. So what that means is basically with Measat 1, we can actually help to propel the development of telecommunication in Malaysia very rapidly. For example, if you recall back in 1996, there isn't any mobile phone. And that time, mobile phone is actually pretty new and is in early adoption. You seldom see people carry handphone. And in fact, the one that we have, Atur. If you remember, Atur is like very huge mobile phone, which is not so mobile, right?
They come with like a backpack-ish that you have to carry them.
Exactly, with the battery.
And a very bulky phone that it has to be with you.
Exactly. So basically, with together with the development of infrastructure on the mobile communication, Measat actually come in to help to actually expand that coverage even faster because we have the satellite solution. With the satellite solution, basically we can help all these telco company to connect their tower a lot easier, especially in the rural area, because you don't have to carry fiber or lay fiber across the road. Take long time to actually lay fiber, due to the nature of satellite technology, where you can actually have a very simple deployment. You can just carry one antenna and associated equipment, plug that in, you're ready to go. So basically, expansion of that is pretty quick. So Measat plays a very important role in ensuring that development is there. And you understand that basically with availability of the telecommunication infrastructure, the country can grow very rapidly. So across all sectors.
I think it affects us as RTM too.
Exactly.
We're having digital live shows now, like how all of you are watching right now from a smartphone, from RTM Click. So that's how the satellite has been helping us, for us to get engaged in a more real-time live shows and everything. So what sets Measat apart as a homegrown company?
Okay, there are a few things that I can think of. Okay, when we first introduced, maybe this is a good time for me to introduce what we call Connect Me. I'm not sure if you have heard, but that's our Measat brand, which we try to make sure that we are the preferred provider for satellite broadband, which is high-speed satellite broadband. So this Connect Me, basically, we use prepaid, sort of approach, similar to the mobile phone prepaid. So instead of on the normal telecommunication infrastructure, we do this prepaid through high-speed satellite broadband. So with a target market in remote area. So that means basically the remote community can actually purchase codes from our distributor and get to our Connect Me broadband hotspots and then get access to the satellite high-speed broadband. And this is like real high speed. They can go up to 200 Mbps,
Ooh,
which is maybe
really
better
fast.
than my internet at home. So it really makes the broadband accessible and affordable to the rural community. And you know, with the access to this internet, there are a lot of things that they can do, especially in terms of e-learning, you know, like e-commerce. So obviously those are part of the initiative that we do to actually encourage rural community to also join, you know, the digital development that the country is enjoying. So basically with e-learning, all the young generation can learn, you know, and get better in education. And then with e-commerce, they can actually sell stuff. So there are a lot of stuff in the rural area, like, you know, all the produce they have.
Now, sir, when we're talking about the Measat, the internet connection, you know, the digital communication, we always relate this to the people who lives in the rural area, right?
Exactly.
So as far as I'm concerned, to date, the latest percentage of the digital coverage is 97% across the region in Malaysia. So how does Measat contribute to keeping rural Malaysia connected, and are there any applications beyond the country?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying related to this Connect Me. The real goal here is basically to really bridge the digital gap. So basically when we have this satellite solution, so we have this capability to bring this technology to a very remote area. Because when you mentioned about internet coverage, right, what stops us is actually this remote area. So it's just too difficult for fiber to get seen. It's just too difficult for the people to build tower, you know, to actually service those areas. And it's not economical as well. For example, if you want to build a tower, it may cost you millions. And you are serving only maybe 60, 100 people within those areas, so it's not economical. So we come in, basically our capital to provide this is cheap. So we could just have a simple antenna with some access points. So we allow people to access to this broadband. So that we place very important role in that area, and our target is really to get to this market, to bring them, to present them with all this opportunity to improve their lives.
Yeah, there's actually a lot more contribution from the Measat, but we're going to be going for a short break, and we will be back, and Mr. Akmal will tell us more about the Measat after this. All right, now welcome back to On the Table. We're going to proceed with Mr. Akmal. Now, Mr. Akmal, can you tell us more about how does Measat support the digital inclusion?
Again, it's about helping to bridge the digital gap between rural area and also helping the government to actually enhance the digitalization effort. So obviously this can actually improve the outcome of the society. So with better connectivity via Connect Me platform that I was telling you about, so basically with that we have equal opportunity for all this rural community to actually also access what internet can offer them. Like I mentioned before, in terms of like the most important part is actually e-learning. So people can learn more. If you remember one time there's Adik who go and climb the tree just to get access to the internet for online class. So we try to help this sector of population so that they have equal opportunity similar to us. and then having opportunity to learn, and then also to get telehealth support. So maybe for us it's something not critical, but for them sometimes they need to travel miles away in the jungle to actually go and get to see doctors. So what we do also, actually we partner with like-minded company to actually provide all these services. For example, under telehealth we have Mudah Care, and then in terms of trying to help the rural community to actually getting into e-commerce, we are helping them, hand-holding them to actually create products and then get into the e-commerce and sell it off through online. So all this initiative that we do is actually to try to include them in this digital revolution within our country. So far we've been very successful. And like telehealth, the target is maybe 1 million rural population can be helped through this. And also with Connect Me, now we are currently serving like 4,000 broadband hotspot that easily cover about 500,000 of rural population. That's quite significant.
Yeah, I think we can see how much the people from the rural area are now very much engaged in the digital platform.
Yes.
How they're selling, their local products, especially the small micro entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right. So Measat are part of them who built the platform.
Correct.
So these are the people who generally first started. All of you right now who's watching, helping you to sell your product to other parts of Malaysia without you going there with lower cost. And apart from that, how does Measat ensure its services remain relevant to evolving needs?
Yeah, basically we continuously innovating and adapting our services to meet evolving needs. Okay, so we work to improve our service offering, continuously observe industry trends and keeping close eye on all the market dynamics to ensure we are always ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in Malaysia also we leverage our local expert. For example, we have our distributor network. They are all local people. For example, in Sabah and Sarawak, okay, they are actually staying in all this rural area, and they come in becoming the installer for our distributor. So they know exactly the local culture. So that really helps us to stay ahead, and making sure that we are leading along this journey. Yeah.
So what are the broader social impact? The one that is really obvious, the one that you have mentioned just now, the e-commerce, the connection, the communication between people from one state to another. But what are the bigger social impact that this Measat has on the people?
I think, again, it's pretty clear, with better education. Okay, better education means the young generation can actually help propel their family to a better position. And then again, with the e-commerce, basically, you can do business. Again, with the business, you can actually elevate your family status. All those are a very major part of what we are trying to do. So I think even that also, like, for example, in broader, wider angle, so if you look at our neighboring countries, so they are actually suffering from the same problem that we are suffering. So practically whatever approach that workable here, we can actually duplicate that to neighboring countries like, Philippines,
Thailand,
Indonesia, Thailand, all that, right? So that's something that we look at.
But when there's advantages, it also comes with the disadvantages. When people have so many digital literacy, people are also exposed to some sort of cyber crimes, like scamming.
Right.
I know Measat is the one who is responsible to provide the platform to bridge the digital gap. However, this opens a new door for different types of crimes.
Yeah.
So do Measat has any, perhaps some guidelines to ensure that with the work of broadening the digital infrastructure, at the same time safeguarding the people who benefits from this digital infrastructure?
That's a very good question.
Right.
So basically, like I mentioned, it's not just about providing the infrastructure, because that's just half of the equation, right? So basically, it's also how do you use it, and then how you actually take advantage of the solution, and also how do you protect yourself. So that's the reason, among others, why we are collaborating with partners. For example, like Parcel 365.
Right.
So besides training them on creating products, selling products on digital platform, they are also helping the locals on the awareness of all this scam, you know, all the dangerous thing that coming together with all these good things that we have on the internet.
Has Measat ever been working with, our ministry, digital ministry, and government agencies?
Of course, we actually support government agencies like Ministry of Education, so Orang Asli. So all those are part of our bread and butter as well, in terms of getting the technology to them, and mutually work to improve the communication infrastructure to all these areas. In fact, we're also working with, because of we are local, we are 100% Malaysian company, and also with Malaysian workforce. So basically, we have advantage to actually work together with the government critical entity, for example, Ministry of Defence or Malaysian Armed Force. So all those, we have the opportunity to work together with them to improve their secure communication. So who else to trust rather than us, which is actually a Malaysian company, which is 100% can be controlled by the government.
Right.
Right. So basically, we do have those setups.
That it's a good thing to hear this, that we have a crucial prospect of the country building the infrastructure for digital that is handled by the homegrown people. It's a homegrown company. This is something that will definitely help our Malaysians perhaps to study more when it comes to digital, and we're going to have a surplus of perhaps pool of talents when we have our own company here. What is Measat's role in developing future technology leaders? Like how I mentioned here, when we have supply, and there's going to be demand. So we have our supplier, which is the Measat. It's a homegrown company. So what are Measat's role in developing future technology leaders for the advancements of Malaysia's satellite sector?
As I mentioned earlier, basically Measat takes pride in developing local talents, where many of our employees actually being internationally recognized. So basically, that alone is actually testament that these people are actually our homegrown talents that will help Malaysia to actually propel further in a satellite communication sector. So basically, these are the future leader for us, right? And then with rapid development in telecommunication industry, and you see like when we talk about telecommunication, the development is very, very rapid. So maybe this year you learn something, next year it's already something else. So the engineer has to be on their toes all the time to actually catch up with all this technology. So what we do is actually we keep challenge all these engineers, and then bring them with the latest technology, expose them to the latest technology, and then train them, and equip them with tools that they need, so that they can grow, as well as we can actually build and mold them to become future technology leader.
As we're talking about this, the role that Measat plays to build more future young leaders, what are the education background that is needed for the students out there? Now, Ms. Takma, you have been in the industry. You know better. What are the qualifications that is needed for the students out there if they wish to pursue the education, in satellite, in digital, in communication?
Okay. Basically, like I mentioned previously as well, we are in high-tech industry. So basically, a lot of our employees are professional and high-skilled professionals. So that range from engineers, technicians, we have lawyers, we have accountants. So all these are professional field. So again, if you are interested specifically in satellite technology, which is technical, so mostly we hired like engineering degrees, either in electrical engineering, aerospace engineering, computer engineering. So among others are those, but basically we do have also like computer information technology. For example, in my department, we call it ITDT, the Information Technology and Digital Transformation. So what they do is basically making sure the IT infrastructure is all the time running good, as well as like DT team. They are actually trying to help to actually make people more efficient by automation. So basically, that is also another part of education that maybe help some of our young people to actually get into, so that they can come into this industry.
Right, because I think we have so many passionate students out there, but maybe or perhaps they just don't know which field they should go into if they're very much interested with the satellite. Yes. Probably they're growing up looking at Elon Musk, doing all these space things. So Mr. Akmal has to wrap it up for you. What are the things that you need in order for you to be able to work or get a job done in the satellite industry, digitalization and communication? Thank you, Mr. Akmal, for
Can I have some last words?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So basically, like what you mentioned before, right, in terms of security and safety on the internet. So on Measat behalf, right, on behalf of Measat, basically we have actually worked very, very hard to provide this infrastructure or this telecommunication infrastructure to almost all Malaysians. Okay, basically, like anything else in life, okay, we always presented with choices between good and bad, right and wrong, and then truth and falsehood. So basically what I personally humbly would like to urge is basically for all Malaysians to actually use this infrastructure in the right way.
Yeah.
Okay,
be responsible, be mindful.
Right.
Do not put the blame on other people, because we have to be responsible too, because we are using that infrastructure and facilities. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Akmal. That's the only time that we have at the moment. Thank you for watching On the Table. We've been talking to Muhammad Akmal Yahya, the Vice President of IT and Digital Transformation, Measat Satellite Systems, Sdn Bhd. A repeat of this episode's broadcast can be viewed again at the same time tomorrow and subsequent days on both RTM Click and MyTV's Berita RTM channel, which is also live streaming on YouTube. Till next Thursday, where we'll discuss on another topic of interest, I'm Shuhaida Arifin, signing off.